I'm having more fun in my life now than I think I've ever had. I'm enjoying America more now than I've ever enjoyed it. Every day. I don't even know what it is. I think, you know what, I think it's, you enjoy a place differently when it might be ending, you know? It just has like a different feeling to it. It's just like, what does that taste? The final season? Because you never know with America. You really never know. Every day is the best day and possibly the last day. I'm having an amazing time. I truly am. This year was such a blessing because I got to travel around the world doing shows in places I'd never performed before, places I've always wanted to do comedy. I've always wanted to try it out. You know, did shows in Berlin, Germany for the first time ever. That was really amazing. I won't lie, people freaked me out. People freaked me out before I went there. Like similar to Detroit, you know, when people are like, oh, watch out, Detroit, watch out, Detroit. You know, like people were like that with Germany as well. Like when I was going to Berlin, people were like, dude, Germany? Do they laugh? I'm like, what do you mean? They're human beings. Like, I don't know, man. Do they laugh? People got to me. There was a point when I was heading to Germany where I was like, maybe Germans just sit in the audience like, aha, yeah, 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 aha, aha. That was a comedy show. But they don't. They laugh. They're actually great audiences. I had an amazing time in Berlin. It's a city that sneaks up on you because it's so culturally diverse. You know, it has a burgeoning art scene, you know, fantastic music. The history in Berlin is truly deep and rich. You know, I love traveling and seeing places whenever I'm in certain cities. And in Berlin, I went out with like a tour group, and I had a great time, but I wish someone had warned me how painful a lot of like Berlin's history is. Right? Because that was basically the headquarters of the Nazi party. So like everything ties back to Hitler. I didn't know this. I thought we were going on like a cute little tour. I ask a lot of questions. I'm curious. This brought the mood down. And we're out and about. The tour guide was doing his shtick. He was happy as well. He was like, you know, here behind me you can see this is one of the largest airports that was ever built in the world. Yeah, it is a world-famous airport here in Berlin, and it is so large that they filmed the Hollywood movie, The Hunger Games, inside this airport. Yeah? Any questions? And I was like, yeah, wow, how old is this thing? He's like, this is almost 100 years old. I'm like, damn, and like, who built it? Yeah, that is the unfortunate part of the story. This airport was built by Hitler. I could see I'd messed things up. I tried to bring the mood up. I was like, which Hitler? He's like, which Hitler? Which other Hitler is there? I was like, could be Henry Hitler. Henry Hitler? Who the hell is Henry Hitler? I was like, you don't know Henry Hitler? It didn't work. Like, yo, man. It was tense, but it was good. And what I mean by good is it was nice to be in a place where people don't bury their history. You know? And what I mean by that... What I mean by that is that, like, when you travel through Germany, even if you don't go to museums, you cannot escape the past of both Berlin and what Germany did. You know, there are monuments scattered throughout the city, prominent monuments. They're memorializing what Germany did to millions of Jewish people and millions of other people around the world. You see it, you understand it, they talk about it. You know, they teach their kids about it. They teach children in school. They're like, hey, this is what Germany did. They make sure they know. But they don't make them feel guilty about it, which is a pretty amazing balance for them to strike, you know? They'll say to the kids, they're like, hey, kids, I hope you understand. Germany did this. You're not responsible because you weren't there. However, because you're the future of Germany, it's your responsibility to make sure this doesn't happen again. You know what I loved about being in Germany when they were talking about their history is how forthright they are about it. You know, they know it's painful, they know that it's a terrible blight on who they are, but they don't hide from it. Like when I saw them doing this, I was like, man, I wish America did this with history. You know? 'Cause you ever see how awkward it is speaking about history in America? It gets tense. Doesn't matter what history it is, it gets tense. You know, Columbus Day is one of those days. Every year in New York, there's a fight. Every year. Here in Detroit, there was a fight. There was a bust of Christopher Columbus that was around for 110 years. At some point, half of Detroit was like, we need to get rid of it. The other half was like, no, don't get rid of it. It was a huge fight. New York, same thing, every year. Columbus Day, Indigenous Peoples Day. Columbus Day, Indigenous Peoples Day. Yeah, there was an interview on the news I saw once. It wasn't supposed to be funny, but I found it funny. The reporter went up to some guy and was like, sir, what are you going to be doing for Indigenous Peoples Day? And he was like, let me tell you something, it's Columbus Day. I'm sick and tired of people coming in and changing the name. We're proud of that day. It's Christopher Columbus. It's Columbus Day. It's not going to change. In fact, how would you feel if somebody came along, took something that's been around for a long time, and just decided to switch it and call it something else? Huh? How would you feel? I was like, but sir, isn't that the spirit of Columbus Day? I'll be honest, I'm not a big fan of Indigenous Peoples Day, the title. I don't like it. I think it's a cop-out. I don't think it's specific enough. It's lazy. You know, Indigenous Peoples Day. Which Indigenous people? Where? How? Give me something, you know? You know what I liked about Columbus Day? Is that it was specific. Yeah. It was a specific, inspiring story of a man by the name Christopher Columbus, who believed against all odds that he could sail the wrong way around the world and get to India from the other side. Nobody believed in him. Yeah. He was like, I'm gonna do this. They were like, you can't do it, Chris. And he was like, I'm gonna do it. They're like, you can't do it, Chris. He's like, I'm gonna do it. They're like, you can't do it, Chris. And he raised money. He fought for years. He finally got the ships, and he sailed the wrong way around the world, and he didn't do it. Not only did he not land on the other side of India, he found himself in a place called the Caribbean, and he was like, this is India. And the people there were like, I don't know if you've been eating some of the herb we've been leaving about, but this is totally not India. And they're like, this is India, and you guys are Indians. They're like, brother, we are not Indians. He's like, I know Indians when I don't see them. You're Indians. You're just on the far side, so you're West Indians. And he stuck with it. Christopher Columbus stuck with it his entire life. Other explorers would come to him, they'd be like, yo, Chris, I don't think you made it to India. He's like, it's India. They're like, I don't think it's India. He's like, it's India. He died refusing to acknowledge the possibility that he never made it to India. Not only that, my friends, he never set foot in America. Ever. Ever. And yet, he had a public holiday named after him in America. That, my friends, is the inspiring story of how white men can fail up. You know how much confidence you have to pull that off? Nobody else. That is white man confidence. Nobody else possesses that level of confidence. Go the wrong way, end up in the wrong place, call the wrong people the wrong name, and be like, I'm right, give me a holiday. No one else can do that. That is the level of confidence we should all aspire to. Is white man levels of confidence. Women couldn't pull that off. You think any woman should be like, I'm gonna sail the wrong way around the earth? They'd be like, burn her, she's a witch. You think people of color could have pulled that off? You think black people could pull that off? Wow, really? Black people just gonna sail around the world wrong way around? get to the place they're not supposed to be, probably get arrested for trespassing. Be like, what are you doing here? Be like, man, my bad, man. I thought I was getting to India, man. My bad, man. I apologize. Man, I don't even know what I was thinking, man. You know what, man? We should have never messed with ships. It never turns out good, man. I apologize. I apologize, man. This won't happen again. Why would you want to bury your history? There's so much joy. There's so much to learn. You know? It feels like America's moving in that direction. You know, it wants less and less of its history, wants less and less context. You look what's happening with textbooks. Places like Florida, they want to ban textbooks or cut out the parts of the textbooks that have slavery in the books. And now parents are fighting. Parents are fighting. They're like, oh, no, take the slavery out. It's making the kids feel bad. And other parents are like, keep the slavery in. It's teaching the children. And these parents are fighting back and forth. I'm like, why? What you don't need to be fighting about. No one should be fighting about this. Kids don't read textbooks. They watch TikTok. If you want to get to the kids, that's where you gotta be. There was slavery. Ships came. Yeah, they... I'll be honest, I don't think that textbook thing is like a real issue. I feel like it's one of those manufactured issues that often happens in America that gets people riled up and gets them fired up, fighting about something that was never an issue to begin with, you know? And the reason I say this is because that's honestly what I believe. I feel like in America, politicians have done a really good job of tricking Americans into fighting about issues that were never an issue to begin with, so that you don't pay attention to the issues that actually are. You know? If they can get you fighting about what's in a textbook, you don't pay attention to the fact that inflation is out of control. You don't pay attention to the fact that rents are out of control. People cannot afford to live anywhere. Your salaries have never kept up with inflation. Corporations steal billions and billions of dollars from their employees with no ramifications. You don't pay attention to any of that. You pay attention to what's catchy. It's easy to keep up with. It keeps you going. You know? Ooh, can trans people use public bathrooms? Ooh. It's manufactured. Who was actually dealing with this issue? And I mean this, honestly. Who was actually dealing with this issue? You know what they did? Some politician out there figured out. They go, here's a small story affecting a few people in a random place. I'm going to make it seem like this is a nationwide issue. And then everyone starts fighting about it. But who? Who was really dealing with it? Huh? Who of you here has ever been in a situation where you were in a bathroom and all of a sudden a skirmish broke out and you heard people being like, excuse me, is this the gender that you were born with? Does it coincide with the sign on the door? Is your genitalia matching this? Can I see it right now? Who's ever seen that? Nobody. Nobody. But they make us fight about it because it's catchy. Who can use which bathroom? Who cares? Who cares? I mean it. Who cares? I know someone will be like, oh, but trans people care. They want to know if they can use a public bathroom. Yeah, use whichever bathroom you want. Who's going to stop you? No, seriously, it's a public toilet. Who is going to stop you? You tell me who's going to enforce that law. We can't even enforce the idea that people should shit into the toilet. But you think magically they're gonna figure out if you were born this way? Use whichever one you want. Why are we wasting our time? Other people are like, oh, we're gonna fight because you gotta know who's using. Let me tell you something. If you are spending enough time to know the genitalia of the other people in a public bathroom, you're the creep. I'm worried about you. There is a simple rule to every public toilet around the world, and that rule is you get in, you pay no attention to anyone else, you hold your breath, and you get out. You're standing around staring at other people. Like every man in this room knows, when we use the toilet, what do? We get in. Public toilet, you stare dead ahead. You pee, you do your thing. You do not look to either side. If you're fidgety, you look up, you look down. You do not look at anyone else. The guy next to you could start choking. You don't turn your head, you don't shake, you don't move. You hear him like, you'd be like, hey man, hey, 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 you all right? Yo, hey man, you okay? Yo, you want me to call? Hey man, are you okay? Yo, you want me to call? Don't look at me! What are we doing? What are we fighting about? Public bathrooms. And if you know your history, you'll know this happens all the time in America. It happens over and over and over again. There was a time when women had to fight to use public bathrooms in America. Imagine that. There was literally a time when women weren't allowed to use public bathrooms all across America, and they had to fight. And there were men who were angry. They're like, this is crazy. You're gonna have women in public bathrooms? That's insane. How does it work? Huh? What, they're gonna come in there while we're peeing? And then what, they're gonna look at our wieners? Huh? And they're gonna laugh? Huh? Think about this, ladies. There was a time when women were first allowed to step into the workplace where there were no public bathrooms that they could use. So ladies, if you were out and about back then, you needed to pee, you needed to poo, you had to go home. Yeah, and I say poo theoretically, I don't know if you actually do. No, I don't think any guy does, let's be honest. We don't. Like, we assume this on a biological level, but I don't know for certain that any woman actually... In fact, any man in here, think of any woman in your life. Do you know the last time she pooed? I don't think you know. I don't think you know. There is no forensic evidence to back up that claim. There is no smell, there is no stain, there is no nothing. And ladies, I don't know who's doing your bathroom PR, but they're doing a stellar job. Stellar job. Women go to the bathroom, smells better when they come out of it. How? You never know when a lady's pooing, never. Because also, women keep the same amount of time. That's the most impressive thing. You give nothing away. Yeah, a woman's gonna go pee, it takes 10 minutes. She goes to the bathroom, right? Gets there, tinkle, 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 comes out, washes her hands, powders her face, texts on the phone a bit, comes back to the table. You have no clue. Yeah, she's gonna go poo, same thing, 10 minutes. Goes to the bathroom, does a thing, pellets, comes back out, wash her hands, powder the nose, text her friends, get back out there. You have no clue. With men, you know exactly what we're doing. Discretion is not our forte. You know when every single man is gonna go pee. Why? 2 minutes. Off to the bathroom, we're in there. Quickest thing ever. It's like a NASCAR pit stop. Yeah, we get in, we pee, we come back out, act like we're washing our hands, and we're back. How do you know when we're gonna take a dump? Because it's obvious. We go to the bathroom, never come back. That's the last time you'll ever see us. Your family's putting up wanted posters in the restaurant. Have you seen this man? Imagine, people were fighting about bathrooms. This every time in America, every time. There was a time when black people had to fight to use public bathrooms. Huh? Same thing. Black people were like, why can we not use public bathrooms? And again, people were angry. This is crazy. You're gonna have black people in the public bathroom? How does that even work, huh? So what, they're gonna be standing there while I'm peeing, huh? And they're gonna be looking at my wiener, huh? And they're gonna laugh, huh? Yo, I'm old enough to remember when there was a discussion in America about whether gay people could use public bathrooms. This was an actual topic of discussion. I remember seeing people on the news being interviewed. They'd be like, do you think that gay men should be allowed into the same bathrooms as straight men? I'd be like, look, I don't mind what they do. If they keep it to themselves, that's fine. But, just answer me this. How's it gonna work, huh? So what, you're in the bathroom with them, and then what? Like, he's gay, and I'm just standing there, and I'm peeing, huh? And he's looking at my wiener, huh? And then he grabs it, huh? And he starts yanking on it, huh? He just starts tugging away, and I get hard, and I'm enjoying it, huh? And then this is one of the best experiences I've ever had, huh? And then I start coming back weekly, hoping I'll bump into him, and I do, huh? And then at some point, we agree to meet outside a nice little restaurant that's cozy and get to know each other, huh? And then a few years later, we get married, and our families are joined, and we live happily ever after, huh? Is that what you want? Public bathrooms. That's why you shouldn't bury your history. Yeah, because if you know it's happened, you know what to predict. You understand why it happened in the first place. Germany does that in a truly astounding way. Look, it's not perfect. It'll never be perfect. But Germany is one of the only countries in the world that has actively paid reparations for what they did. One of the only countries in the world that has actively apologized. And one of the only countries in the world that's set about changing how they see themselves and how the world sees them. After World War II, Germany changed a bunch of laws. They changed the iconography of the country, what you could hang, where you could hang it. They changed their national anthem. Yeah. Imagine that. They changed the national anthem. They felt that the national anthem was a nationalist song that the Nazis used to inspire people to think the wrong things, and they changed it. The original song was a song called Deutschland, Deutschland über alles. And you've probably heard it like in old movies or whatever. The song went like, Deutschland, Deutschland, über alles auf der Welt. And translated into English, it means, Germany, Germany, over everything in the world. And clearly they meant it. Yeah, where most anthems are theoretical, Germans are precise. But after World War II, they were like, we can't have that same attitude. And so they changed the anthem. And new lyrics. The new lyrics are, Einigkeit und Recht und Freiheit für das deutsche Vaterland. Which translated into English is, unity and rights and freedom for all the people who live in Germany. Which is adorable. It's adorable. I mean, they may as well have made the song, sorry, sorry, we're so, so sorry. Sorry, sorry, sorry for what we did. I appreciate that they did it, but I wouldn't have gone that far. No, I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't have gone that far. I think Über alles is terrible. That's not a good way to think. But you still gotta have a bit of kick in your anthem, you know? You still gotta have like a, you know? Yeah, I would have found like a middle ground. Mine would have been like, Deutschland, Deutschland, irgendwo in den Top 5. Nicht über alles auf der Welt. Because we are definitely in the top 5 when you think about it. America's number 1, and then you have Great Britain, and then you have France and Spain, and then we are at number 5. Well, actually, Spain is not better than us, so we are number 4. Number 4 in the, oh yeah, but France, their economy is not that strong, so maybe we are number 3 in the world, then you have England above, oh wait, oh, Brexit was not a smart idea, so maybe we are number 2 and America is number, oh, their elections are not that stable, so then maybe we are über alles auf der Welt! Ah, we made it, everybody. We made it. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Oh, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for coming out. It's been a long time coming. We've been waiting for this. You've been waiting. I've been waiting. It was supposed to happen a long time ago, but then it couldn't happen because of COVID. COVID was happening. I couldn't come back to do the shows. And then they said there's no shows. And then they said the shows are limited. Then they said it's not limited, but now there's still COVID. Then I saw COVID in South Africa. I was like, I'm not going to take that chance. Yeah, because COVID in America was easy. They just asked you. They're like, please don't go outside. And if you did, they were like, well, we tried. Yeah, hey, it was no joke. I saw soldiers kicking people into their houses. Get inside. I'm in my yard. Hey, COVID is coming. So I was like, I'll wait. But I was always coming back. Wow, it's good to be back, y'all. It is so good to be back. So good to be back home. You know, everyone asked me that question, by the way. A lot of people ask me that question. They go like, Trevor, does it still feel like home? Hey? Does it still, but really, does it feel like home? Like, is it really home? Guys, it will always feel like home. That doesn't change. The people the food, the culture, huh? And most importantly, the reason it'll always feel like home is because even when I was in New York for 8 years, every few months, I would get an SMS from the SABC telling me to pay my TV license. Yo, guys, those people are relentless, eh? Those people are relentless. I was in New York, these people were still there. Cling, pay your TV license, you are in arrears, 47 Rand and 60 cents. I would ignore it because I was like, it's probably automated, I don't even live there. They would come back in, second warning, pay your TV license, 47 Rand and 60 cents. I was like, guys, I don't live there, you must leave me alone. I even replied once, I was like, stop, unsubscribed. Then they responded, pay your TV license, 47 Rand 60 cents. I started ignoring it. A few months later, I got referred to a debt collector. Yeah, because the SABC doesn't play, guys. They're one of the one section that works there is the debt collecting. They don't play games there. Literally, I was minding my own business. I'm walking around in New York City. My phone rings. It was an unknown number, right? And I answered it, because you can when you live in America. You can do these things, you know? Yeah, you can take chances like, because in South Africa, guys, you know. Right. Unknown numbers, unknown problems, yeah? So I answered the phone. I was like, hello? And the voice on the other side was like, hi, Mr. Noah. Am I speaking to Mr. Noah? I was like, yes. Like, hi, Mr. Noah, you speaking to Johan here? I'm calling you from David and Associates. We've been referred your case by the SABC because your account are in arrears and your failure to pay means that we are now going to be attaching your assets. I was like, assets? Plural. It's 47 Rand and 60 cents. He's like, that's right, Mr. Noah, but actually now it has gone up. It is now 49 Rand because of interest. I was like, Johan, listen, man. I don't live in South Africa, so I don't need a TV license because I don't watch TV in South Africa anymore. He's like, well, we don't know that, Mr. Noah. Okay? We don't know where you are or what you are doing. I was like, my man, but you do. You do. No, because, guys, I worked at a show called The Daily Show. They wrote it in the name. So you knew where I was every day. Every day. That's the best alibi. Where is he? He's there. When? Daily. Johan didn't buy that, eh? Johan was like, well, sir, because you didn't go through the correct protocol, then you did not cancel your TV license, so you are still in arrears. I didn't even know there was protocol. Did you know this? Did you know? I didn't know this. What is the protocol? He's like, so you were supposed to go and get an affidavit stating that you no longer have a TV. I'm like, Johan, our police are dealing with too many things in this country. For me now to go to them, can you imagine me walking into a police station? I'm there waiting in the line. Finally, I get up there. Next. Yebo Baba. Yes, can I help you? Yes, so I need an affidavit, please. Okay, what's happening? I don't have a TV. Oh, they stole it. No, they didn't steal it. So you have it? No, I don't have it. No, I don't live here and I don't have a TV. I need to tell the SABC I don't need a TV license. Okay. So what do you want from me? No, I need an affidavit. I need you to write the affidavit. That's what they said. Oh, okay. What's your name? Trevor. Okay, Trevor doesn't have a TV. But how do I know you don't have a TV? I'm like, I don't know. He's like, okay, did you watch Chief Pirates? No. Okay, doesn't know the Chiefs Pirates game, no TV, STEM. What am I doing? It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. He didn't follow the protocol, but Johan was adamant. I'm having an hour-long conversation. We're arguing back and forth. At some point, I said, Johan, I know you're doing your job. I know you're doing your job, Johan. But please, I don't watch TV in South Africa. And then Johan, without missing a beat, is like, Mr. Noah, you might live in America, but we don't know when and where you are coming back and what you are doing. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, unbeknownst to us, you may be watching TV, yeah. I'm like, what does that mean? What, you think I'm sneaking back into the country to watch Seven de Land? Yeah, quickly, that Charmaine, make it back to Oppie Coffee, quickly. So I paid. Yeah, it's the right thing to do. couldn't wait to get back home. I'm so excited. I was like, I have to get back to South Africa. I have to get back to South Africa. I have to get back to see you, to do the shows. Mostly because I'm tired of South Africans terrorizing everybody in my life. I'll explain what I mean. I'll explain. South Africans have become notorious around the world, right? Especially online. Whenever something happens online and South Africans get involved, people know you. Doesn't matter what country they're from. They're like, when South Africans get on Twitter, you must cross the street. And it's the same for me. Every time I announce I'm going to be doing shows in any country that isn't South Africa, yo guys, South Africans get angry. Eh? South Africans get angry, start rioting in my mentions. People losing their minds. I'll be like, oh, I'm going to Germany. Recently, I was excited. I was like, oh, I'm going to Paris. I'm going to be doing a show in France. People lost it. Trevor, what the hell? When are you coming back to South Africa? Yeah, Trevor, you think you're better. When are you don't know, you don't want to perform here anymore. Yeah, no, Trevor, this country needs you. Why aren't you coming back? What, you're not South African anymore? What not? My favorite one was one guy who just wrote, we've also got Paris. You know, guys, it's gotten so intense that even my team in LA is afraid of South Africans. My team in Los Angeles is terrified of you, terrified. Yeah, we'll announce that we're doing a tour, right? And the first time this happened, it was mind-blowing. One of my team members came up to me and he's like, yo, Trevor, dude, this is really exciting, man. We're launching the European dates. Everything's going live and we're gonna be kicking that off tomorrow. And I was like, oh, that's cool. So when do we go live? He's like, well, we're just waiting for South Africans to go to sleep. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, we just gotta wait for them to go to sleep. We've realized if we don't wait, then they come in, they're really angry that you're not coming home. So we wait for them, and then when the last one's asleep, then we load it online. And I'm like, what are they saying? He's like, well, they say a lot of things. Some people say you think you're better than them, and some people say you've forgotten your roots, and look, to be honest, most of them just write this one word, pose. You know who you are. Now I'm busy there trying to explain. What does pose mean? No, it doesn't mean anything. Hey, it just means like crazy, you know? Like, yeah, what a crazy story. Pose. So I had to come back just to stop South Africans from terrorizing me online. You know? Yeah, you guys know who you are. I've learned, keep your friends close and South Africans closer. Airport in the world. Every time you land in South African airports, you feel like you're welcomed home. It doesn't matter who you are. Have you been to airports overseas? It doesn't matter which country you go to. It seems like it's a trap. Like they're finding an excuse to kick you out. Where's your papers? Where's this? Where's that? Stand over there, move. You're not supposed to be here. Get out of here. Nah, not in South Africa. Here, I feel like everybody can get in. I feel like we're on everyone's side. Eh? Fake passport, no problem, we can talk about it. Everybody's welcome. That's the country I want to be from. You land at OR Tambo, you get there to passport control, you know? They've got that little camera, that's my favorite thing. Have you seen that camera that doesn't see your face, it just sees like your colors, your temperatures? I don't even know what that's really for. Is it Ebola? Is it COVID? No, because I've noticed they never pull anybody aside. Like, they just show you your colors, and they're very adamant. They'll be like, look at the camera. Excuse me, look at the camera. Then you look there, and then you see like orange, red, all these different colors. And then they'll be like, look at the camera. Then you look, then they're like, you, purple. Okay, you can go. You're like, I can? You're like, but I'm purple. What does that mean? I love getting to passport control because that's when I have my first real interaction with a South African. And the people at passport control all have personality. This trip was even better. I'm waiting in line. Finally, they call me, next. And I go up there. I get there, I give them my passport. I'm like, Dumelang. She's like, I was like, riting lika. She's like, riting. Let me, whoo! Trevor, it's my lucky day. Trevor, I can't believe it. Go on, Trevor. Is that you? Is that you? Oh, Trevor. Oh, Cynthia, woman of Rikimang. Get Trevor. Trevor Noah. Isn't Trevor Manuel? Trevor Noah. The comedian. Trevor Noah. Na day show. Yeah, get Trevor. Now she doesn't have DSTV, that one. Yeah, Trevor, you are back. Hey, look at you. Yo, Trevor, you are traveling, eh? Look how many stamps here. Oh, what, Trevor? Oh, what, Trevor? This is too much. You are not tired. Hi, Trevor. Bonafella, look at all these countries. Look here. Look, which country is this one, Trevor? What was this one? Moldova. You, what, Trevor? But you are back now, nah? How long are you going to be here? I was like, oh, it's actually going to be a while now. I have more time. She's like, oh, really? Oh, yeah, because they fired you by the Daily Show, nah? I was like, what? No, I left. You left where? I left the show. They didn't fire you. I was like, no. Why did you leave? Were they paying you? Yes. And you left? Unalemaka. You are lying, Trevor. There's no South African that can leave a job when they are getting paid. That can never happen. You are just leaving a job, but they are paying you. Which South African can do? Even me, I'm leaving my job now. Wow, Trevor, unalemaka. Why did you leave? Tell the truth, Trevor. What happened? What happened, Trevor? Did you steal something? Yeah? You can tell me, Trevor. What happened? Did you steal something? I won't judge you, Pella. We are South Africans. Yeah, Linda, I know sometimes how it can be. You don't even plan. You're just there. Then something can pop up. You're like, yay. Now it's like sticky fingers. It's just, you just want to. Pella, not Trevor. It happened to me, Linda, Trevor. Eh? Here at work, there was a stapler. I don't even know where it was from. This stapler was just there, Trevor. Yeah, Trevor. That stapler. Then I took it home, Trevor. You know, at home we don't even staple, eh? We don't even staple, but now every day we are there, katakatla, Trevor. Where are you doing? What did you take? I'm like, I didn't take nothing. You are lying, Trevor. You are lying. I know why you are back. You're here for CCMA. You must do it. Yeah. They're going to pay you, Trevor. Welcome back. I could feel it. I'm home. Immediately, I was like, this is it, man. There's no other country like this. Oh, and what a journey it's been, people. What a journey it has been. You know, traveling around the country, coming out, doing these shows for you. You know, we went to Cape Town, went to Durban. Here we are in Pretoria. Everyone coming out together. It's been so much fun. So much. Every place I go to, though, it's interesting. You get a taste of how the people are, you know? Like Durban was interesting because I don't know what it is about people in Durban, but it feels like they want to fight with you for no reason all the time. No, even when they're like being nice to you, it feels like they want to fight, you know? And I've noticed this, you know where I've noticed it is when you're taking pictures with South Africans, that's when you notice it, you know? Because South Africans are very different to everyone in the world, especially with how they deal with fame. I've noticed this, you know? Like overseas, fame is like a religion. Right? Especially like in places like America. You know, when you're famous there, people worship you. You know, you see people spotting a celebrity in the streets, like, oh my God, it's Beyonce. And then they faint. No, South Africans aren't like that. South Africans, you're not famous. I feel like in South Africa, people just know you. You know? Yeah, like here when I walk in the street, no one's like, I hear people are just like, Trevor! Yeah. Everywhere it's different. Every single place, it's different. Cape Town was one of my favorites. because we were there for a while, and I haven't done shows in Cape Town for a very long time, I haven't done shows in Cape Town for a long time, and so I was there. In fact, the last time I did shows in Cape Town was when the DA was still being led by Lindiwe Mazibuko and was Musi Maimane. Yeah, that's how far it was. And then now when I got there, it was like, wow, I was like, damn, it's been that long. Because now it was like some guy, Oosthuizen or something, and Helen Ziller. I was like, damn. I was like, this is pretty impressive, DA. Yeah, you proved everybody wrong. You showed that once you go black, you can go back. Wow. Look at you.
One country. If there's one nation in the world that has no right to complain about immigration, it's Great Britain. If there's one nation in particular, you do understand, they created the problem that they are now dealing with. They went out and colonized the world. At one point, half of the globe was controlled by the British Empire. Do you understand how insane that is? They went around colonizing from pillar to post. People didn't care about them. No one was trying to find the British. The British were the ones traveling the world, telling everyone of their existence, knocking on doors. Hey, we're the British, follow us. It's basically ancient Twitter, that's what that was. And I'm not saying the British are bad people, by the way. I understand that colonization was something that was popular at one time. Many European countries participated in it. But the British were the best. They were the best. It's not because they were bad. I think I blame it on the weather. That's what I think happened. I think they have bad weather, and bad weather makes you a bad person. Yeah, because if you think about it, there was no one from a tropical climate who was trying to take over the world. You don't ever hear stories of Caribbean conquerors. Yeah, there's no stories of like Troy the Terrible from Trinidad. You don't hear these stories. There's no need for that. When the weather's horrible, you want to go somewhere else and take it from somebody. If you're living in a beautiful paradise, you have no need to leave. Can you imagine that scene? Just some random handsome guys hanging out on a beach in the Caribbean. One looking at the other out of nowhere. Darius! Darius! What, Troy? I was thinking, bro. Stay with me here. I was thinking, right? We should build boats, sail around the world, and force everyone to dance calypso. It wouldn't happen. It just wouldn't happen. The British colonized with class. They went all over the globe. And colonization, we read about it now, and it seems normal, because it's in a history book. They colonize. When you think about colonization, it is the strangest thing you can think about. Because conquering is one thing. You go to another country, you take what's theirs. You want more. You take the land, you take the resources, you kill the people. That I understand. But colonization, I don't condone, I understand. But colonization is strange, because you go there and you don't just take over. You then force the people to become you. That is such a strange concept. When you think about where the British did it, I mean, they did it in Africa, they did it in Asia. And think about in India. Those cultures could not be more diametrically opposed. And out of nowhere, the British just decided to roll up. Imagine what the Indians must have felt like on that day. Minding your own business, walking through a field. Next thing you know, the British showed up on horseback. Hear ye, hear ye. By order of Her Majesty the Queen, we have arrived. You over there, what is the name of this land? This land over here? This is called India. Well, my good man, I am here to tell you that India is now under the British Empire. And I'm glad that I can tell you that India is exactly where it was yesterday. I feel you're not understanding what I'm saying. I'm letting you know that we're here to colonize you by order of the Queen. Who is the Queen? The Queen. The Queen of England, the ruler of Great Britain. She who was ordained by God. Which God? God. The one true God. There are many gods, my friend. What is the name of your God? There is only one God, and his name is God, and you too shall worship him. You want me to worship a God, but you don't want to tell me his name? What are you talking about? There are many gods, okay? There is Shiva, there is Lakshmi, there is Hare Krishna, there are many gods. What is the name of your God? His name is God. You don't know the name of your God? It's just God. Is it like mommy or daddy? You want me to worship your God, but you don't want me to tell me his name, huh? How am I going to pray to him? What do I do? Every morning I go to wake up and I pray like, oh, dear God, I was hoping that maybe God, you could help me. No, sorry, not you, other God. No, other God. No, not wrong God. No, God, I was trying to talk to other. No, you're right. I should have asked for her first name. No, God. No, other God, please. No, God behind that God. No, not you today, God. Other God. You're right. He told me he would know I was talking to, and I don't. No, other God, please. That God on that. No, that God. You. Then I wonder why my prayers are not getting answered, huh? How dare you speak to me like that? Do you know who I am? No, because you never introduced yourself. I have come here representing Great Britain. And I have never heard of Great Britain. Who gave you that name? Well, we did. You called yourselves great? Isn't that a little presumptuous? Shouldn't you wait for other people to tell you how great you are? Huh? Shouldn't you just go around the world and just do good things? Then people go, oh my God, Britain, look how great you are. Well, I beg to differ. I believe we could do it because we knew instinctively. We are Great Britain. Well, in that case, welcome to Great India. No, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. How dare you speak to me like this? Look, you're the one who dares to speak to me, okay? I was here minding my own business in my land. You came over here riding on your skinny cow telling me that things are going to change. I don't know who you are. All I know is you are really crazy, okay? You're not feeling too right. And I didn't want to say anything, but you look like you're going to faint. In fact, it looks like you have died last week, okay? Something is very wrong with your skin. You're not looking good, my friend. Maybe you should come down. We have a curry. We talk about this. What are you talking about? I look quite normal. You do not look normal, my friend. I've never seen anybody with that complexion in my life, okay? You look like you're playing hide and seek with the sun your entire life. I don't know what is happening, but that is not how a person should look, huh? I can see your veins pumping through your skin right now. Do you know how creepy that is? Pumping. If I was your doctor, I don't need X-ray machine. I just go, what is problem? It is your kidney. How do I know? Because you're translucent. That is how I know. Damn you, we are going to run this country whether you like it or not. We are not going to do anything you tell us. You're a madman. We are going to take it. You're not taking. We're going... She's all yours. Take. Don't play nice. Take. And that's how the British took over. That's how they took over India. And then, many years later, the British, after they were done pillaging, left and went back home. And so it only stands to reason that those Indians, who they had now made British, would seek out the land from whence they came. I don't understand why British people are complaining, going, why are they coming here? Why the hell are you coming here? Because you told us how great it was, so we came to see for ourselves. No. Go back to where you came from. Go back. You're not welcome here. This is not your home. But you said we are all part of the British Empire. No, when I said part, I meant you are under us, right? We're the British. You are the empire. What do you mean? We are the British and you are the empire. Okay, well in that case, the empire strikes back. Now make some curry and tell me where we're sitting, okay? Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. They can't complain. They cannot complain. If there's one nation in the world, they cannot complain. The truth is, none of us should be complaining. When you think about it, what people term immigration just depends on your timeline, right? You're an immigrant. When do you measure from? Everyone is an immigrant from somewhere. Whenever I see people have those conversations in America, about these damn immigrants, they're coming over here, these damn immigrants, get out of here, you immigrants. I always wonder what Native Americans must be thinking when they're listening to the words that are being said. People confidently saying, this is not where they came from, this is not their land. And they're like, oh, tell me more, tell me more. They need to go back because this is not their home. Oh, really? Everyone is an immigrant in some way. You travel, when you travel, you see this. I say that to people. That's why I always say to people, I go, travel the world. If there's one thing you will never waste your money on, it's traveling. Travel the world. See another place. Discover a different point of view. Traveling is the antidote to ignorance. And that's so true. It changes your mind, your perspective, how you believe, what you believe. And one of the greatest things you can do when you travel, one of the greatest things you can do is traveling to a country where they don't speak your language. That's probably my favorite thing. Going to a place where they don't speak English just to make you realize how insignificant you really are. You're not the center of the universe. There's another world that exists beyond you. I try and do that all the time. I try my utmost. I go to English-speaking countries, but I try every now and again to go to a country where they speak no English, Like recently, I went to Scotland, right? And again, I had an amazing time. The place was beautiful. It was a different culture, rich in history. They have the rolling highlands of Scotland. They've got these castles, beautiful, perfectly preserved, hundreds of years old. In the streets, there's the men playing the bagpipes, wearing the kilts. No black people. But not in a bad way, not in a bad way. Just in a matter-of-fact way, Like when I say that there's no black people in Scotland, I just mean there's no black people. But not like there's a good way and then there's a bad. Like the good way is when you get there and you're like, there's no black people. But then there's some places you go and you're like, there's no black people. And that's when you know what I mean? That means some shit went down. You can feel it when you get there. Like Australia. There's no Aborigines. And when you get there, you're like, hey, Australia! You're like, wait, where's all the black people? And they're like, I don't know. They left. You can feel something went wrong. But Scotland doesn't have that, Scotland doesn't have black people because further north there were no black people. There's not many black things further north. The further north you go, the whiter things become. It's the people, the Christmas, the bears, everything changes. I'm sure if you went to a Scottish person and said, excuse me, sir, are you racist? He'd be like, I don't know. I never tried. I had so much fun in Scotland. I remember I was in Glasgow for a week. I was driving around in the back of a car, and every single day, I would try and spot black people. It was like a little game that I played by myself. Every day, I would just be there like, black person, black person, black person, black person, black person. Ha! No, statue. Black person, black person, black person, black person, black person, black person. Ha! No reflection. Black person, black person, black person, black person. No black people anywhere. None. And that's why I say traveling is important. Because I'd never been to a place where there were no black people before. It actually made me realize, I'll confess it here tonight. I too have Trudeau'd Canada. I too have tried too hard to connect with a group of people and it did not go well. My story happened in Edinburgh, Scotland. Beautiful place. If you've never been, go. Stunning. Everything. The place is full of history. The people are lovely and warm. The place isn't, but the people are. Everything is old. They love telling you that. Everywhere you'll go in Edinburgh, people will be like, oh, how old do you think that bridge is? You'll be like, I don't know, they're like 300 years old. You'll be like, oh, okay. They'll be like, that church, 500 years old. Meet my son, 800 years old. He looks 6, Scottish workmanship. But they were wonderful people. It was really great out there. And we're there for a comedy festival, okay? And what I do whenever I'm traveling is, if I get to be in the same place as my friends, we try and spend as much time together And what we'll do is we'll order like food or we'll go out. And when we do that, we allow one person to designate the meal. Nobody negotiates, everybody gets to pick a day. And so whenever my day comes around, consistently, I pick Indian food, all right? Yeah, I think it's the best cuisine in the world. Nothing comes close. You don't agree with me? Let's meet in the parking lot, we can fight. I love Indian food, loved it my whole life. And so we're in Edinburgh, I'm with my friends, they're like, where are we going? Trevor, what do you say? I'm like, Indian food. They're like, every time? I was like, yes, every time Indian food. I'm like, oh, it's the same. I'm like, then why do you keep asking me? If you know, you know. Stop asking me. And I searched for where we were gonna go, because I always try and find the most authentic Indian restaurant I can find. Like authentic Indian restaurants. Do you know what I mean? So what I'll do is I'll go to a place, and then I'll ask around. I'll ask people. I'll be like, where do you go? And then like, where the white people tell me, I don't go there. So I found this authentic spots, and I was so happy. Now, the reason it had to be so authentic, just so you understand a little bit of me. I grew up in South Africa, as you know, right? Now, what a lot of people may not know is that South Africa has one of the largest Indian populations outside of India. Right? One of the largest Indian populations outside of India. I know Canada's #1 now. But when I was growing up, we had the single largest population of Indians outside of India. Yeah. So if India blew up, we were India. It was that close. And so I was lucky enough to grow up surrounded by Indian culture. Right? In fact, one of my best friends growing up was a little Indian boy by the name of Thiessen Pillay. And we were thick as thieves. I don't think you understand. Every single day we hung out together. We spent our recesses together. We were hanging out, eating everything together, everything. Because we had so many things in common, right? We met at the beginning of the school year, and we had so many things in common. Like he liked running, I liked running. So, Thiessen and I would spend every day together. And our ritual was simple. We'd go to all the classes that we did, and then we'd meet at what we called break time. And at break time, we'd sit and we'd eat our lunch together. Now, our lunches were very different, all right? Because Thiessen would get a packed lunch from his mom every single day. I would get money from my mom to buy food from the school tuck shop, we called it, right? Cafeteria, all right? And so what we do is I'd go and I'd buy the food every single day. And it's like, because my mom couldn't cook, right? Well, she tried once, and I was like, don't do this ever again. This is child abuse. Just give me the money. So I would buy the food every day. Thiessen, on the other hand, had food that his mom made every single day. And every single day, the meal was curry. I know this because every day, we'd sit down together. Thiessen would open his little lunchbox. He would take out his little can of juice. He'd unwrap his sandwich. And there would be little triangles cut out. And then he'd pull it out. He'd open the bread, look inside, and then he'd scream at the top of his lungs. He'd be like, curry! Damn it, mommy. Every day. Every day. We'd sit down, I'd have my food, he'd have his, he'd take the juice out of the box, he'd unwrap the sandwich, he'd look in between, he'd be like, curry! Damn it, mommy. Every single day, without fail, every day, mutton curry, lamb curry, potato curry, every curry you can imagine, but it was curry every single day. Curry! It was my favorite part of the day. Some days I wouldn't even open my lunch for fear of missing the moment. I would just sit there next to him waiting, and he'd open it up and he'd be like, curry! And I'd mouth it next to him, damn it, mommy. Every day for months and months and months and months this happened. And then finally, at the risk of breaking it all, I turned to Thiessen one day. He screams, he's like, curry! Damn it, mommy. And I was like, Thiessen, you know it's going to be curry every day. He said, what? I said, it's going to be curry every single day. Every day you open the bread, and then every day you're shocked and you're like, curry! Damn it, mommy. But it's always going to be curry. And he said, I know, Trevor, I know. I'm not shocked, I'm just disappointed. Right, because every single day, right,
I come to school and then every day I'm like, I'm gonna eat lunch, and then every day I open a box and I know what it's gonna be, because last night we had the curry. Then what my mom does is she takes last night's curry, then she put it in a sandwich for me, and then that's the curry that I'm gonna have today. Then I know when I go home tonight, I'm gonna eat the curry, then I know that's the curry that's coming the next day. So every single day I'm getting curry, it's curry, and then it's gonna be more curry and more curry. Trevor, I know I'm Indian, but it's too much, man. I just want something different, you know? They say variety is the spice of life, not just curry. I was like, oh, but listen, is it bad? He said, I don't even know anymore. I lost perspectives. Here, you can have it.
And he gave me his curry sandwich. I bit it. And Toronto, there are moments in your life that will forever shape who you are. Moments that will define who you grow on to be. This was one of those moments for me. I put that sandwich in my mouth. I bit down and my mouth came alive. My tongue discovered its purpose. I didn't know potatoes could pop like that. The flavors were bouncing around. My eyes opened wide. It was, I was like, what? I was like, curry! Thank you, mommy. And I said, listen, this is amazing. You eat this every day? And he's like, every damn day. And I was like, well, okay, let's swap. I'll give you my money for tuck shop, and then you give me your curry food every day. And we did that. We traded. And let me tell you something now. You thought we were best friends before. We turned into soulmates. Yeah, because we both got everything we dreamed of, right? I got to have a home-cooked meal every single day, and as an Indian person, he got to start a business. Thiessen was in heaven. It was perfect. And since then, I've loved curry. So, fast forward many decades, we're in Edinburgh, Scotland. Going out with my friends. We're choosing a spot. I choose Indian, authentic Indian. We get to the place, and it's legit. Like, it is legit. We walk in, and there's Indian music playing. There are Indian people eating, Indian cooks in the back, Indian waiters, Indian guards on the wall. I'm like, this is it. I'm home. We walked in, we sat down. And as soon as we sat, one of my friends, Steve, launches for the menu. And I was like, Steve, it's cool, man. I'll just order for everyone at the table. And he's like, oh, that's fine, Trevor. I'll order for myself, thank you. I was like, no, it's not about that, Steve. I just prefer to order for all of us, yeah? Right? You good? He's like, I don't know why that's necessary. I think I'll just order for myself. Is that okay? I was like, it's not. No, it's not okay, Steve. It's not okay, right? Because you're probably going to say some shit that's going to embarrass me in front of my Indian people, right? And so I just need you to back off for a moment. He's like, I'm sorry, what would I say that could embarrass you in front of Indian people? I was like, I don't know, Steve, and I don't want it to happen. Just let me handle this, okay? He's like, let you handle this? Trevor, I'll have you know that I've eaten curry for many, many years. I'm like, Steve, this is not the time. Just let's not argue, okay? Let's not argue. It's not the time to argue. He's like, what do you mean? Why would I embarrass you? Why? I was like, there's no, you don't need to know why. Let's just not do. He's like, no, why? Why? Because I'm white. I was like, you brought it up, not me, all right? I wasn't going to bring up race, but you did, Steve. And now that you brought it up, let's talk about it. Every time I take my white friends to an ethnic restaurant, they always say some shit that embarrasses me. Every single time. Every time. Either they don't know how to pronounce the food, or they'll say some random shit. They'll be like, can I get that one? The papadums? What do you call these ones? You know, they'll be like, can I get this one, but not spicy? Kill yourself! Can I get the curry, but not spicy? Kill yourself! How are you going to ask for curry, but not spicy? That's the whole point of curry. You want curry without the spice. Would you go to a sushi restaurant and ask for them to have the fish slightly boiled? No, I don't want the spice. Your forefathers went around the world killing people for the spice. Now you don't want it? Shut up and eat the spice, Steve. And he's there, he's like, Trevor, okay, I really don't understand where this is coming from, all right? I'm not going to embarrass you. I understand curry. I was like, Steve, let's just leave it at that. I got you, okay? I got you, all right? I understand this way more than you. He's like, Trevor, I'm sorry. You're not more Indian than me. I was like, I'm sorry, what? He's like, yeah, you are not more Indian than me. I was like, what the hell is that? Exactly.
Don't tell me I'm not more Indian than you. You shut up. When the waiter comes in, you shut up. He's like, I'm not gonna shut up. I was like, you shut up. He's like, okay, fine, order then. And the waiter walks over. This beautiful Indian man. He's got his beautiful Indian garb, and he steps up. And I know Steve, I can see him questioning my authority out of the corner of my eye. And that's when I Trudeau'd. I was just a little too hyped. I wanted to show him that these were my people, and as the waiter got there, I didn't even let him speak. I just jumped up and I was like, good evening. I'm going to be ordering for the entire table, please. Could we please have 3 garlic raw naans? We're going to have 3 rumali rotis. Give us 1 shahi paneer, 1 palak paneer. You know what? We're going to have a Rogan Josh, lamb, of course. Could we also please have 1 butter chicken for my Caucasian friends? And then we're going to have 3 samosas and 3 mango lassis to wash it all down. Thank you very much. I crushed it. I could feel it. Everyone could feel it. They could feel something. Because the table went dead. The waiter just stared at me. At first I thought he was impressed. Then I realized he was confused. And this Indian man leans in, looks me dead in the eye, and he's like, sorry, sir, could you repeat what you said? I can't hear what you were saying, right? You got a bit of an accent. And I was like, oh shit! He's Scottish! I mean, I know he's Scottish. I mean, we're in Scotland. He's Scottish, but it's like he's Indian. I didn't expect that, right? Because the whole place is Indian. It's an Indian restaurant. The people eating were Indian. There's Indian gods on the wall. The guy was Indian. His beard was Indian, but his mouth was Shrek. I didn't expect that. And now he didn't understand me because I Trudeau'd too much. I didn't need to try so hard. But then I realized I also couldn't stop. Because that would be racist. So now, I've got the Scottish Indian man looking at me. Everyone's quiet and he's like, if you don't mind, laddie, could you order again a little slower this time, right? I didn't hear what you said. You want me to place the entire order again? If you don't mind, I'm ready whenever you are. You know, I think everybody can order for themselves at the table. I don't think it's necessary for me to hold their hands. Everybody can order individually, and we can go from there, okay? We can go from there. And Steve was like, oh, I wish I could, but I'm so afraid. Huh? Yes, I admit it. The crime is terrible. It's out of control. We have to do something about it. We have to fight against it, you know? But the thing that gives me hope is that it's a problem that has a solution. Economists have shown time and time again around the world that when there's a high rate of crime, it is often tied to a high rate of unemployment. And so if you work to fix that unemployment, you are then solving the problem of crime. They've shown this time and time again. It is not an easy problem to fix, but it is fixable. People are like, oh yeah, but you're in America, bro, you're lucky. You know, you don't even have crime. It's like, okay, first of all, there is crime. And second of all, there's something else that we don't have in South Africa, mass shootings. Yeah, that's the craziest thing ever. Just randomly, you're in a room, in a public space, anywhere. Someone comes in, giant gun, starts shooting. Ga, 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 ga. 10 people, 20 people, 50 people, 100 people, dead. Why? Nobody knows. Imagine that. Now you're dead. You don't know why. Just getting into heaven. I know they're both terrible, guys, but for me, I'll choose crime, eh?
No, because even with crime, at least there's a moment where I know there's hope, where I can be like, okay. But let me take my SIM card and delete my browser history. I'll choose South Africa any day of the week. These are things I think about. I have to think about them. Because now, I've lived in America for so long that they say that soon I'm going to be given a US passport. Right? You say woo because you don't know what it comes with. Tandaga, you're clapping already. Yay! Didn't even ask about terms and conditions. Because I read the terms and conditions of having an American passport. There are many things that I don't like. First and foremost, I will have to be subject to the American legal system. Yeah, I'm not enthusiastic about that, I'm not gonna lie. Because I never planned to do anything wrong in America. But in the back of my head, I always thought if something was to be done by me, I felt good knowing they would have to deport me. They would be like, you're guilty, you're deported. And I'll be like, no. And then I'll come home and be like, Maracas, you must know, South Africa, you guys know, you know what happens sometimes, but you never know. Why did Rihanna leave her iPhone like that? No, but I seriously don't want to be involved in the American justice system. Because they say it's justice, but it's terrifying. You don't know how they'll treat you. You don't know why they'll treat you. The scariest part for me is what happens in courts. Because they have a jury system in America. I'm terrified of that. Terrified of it. For those who don't know, I'm sure you've seen it on TV, but for those who don't know, the American system is very different to the South African one. In South Africa, you have the judge, you have the prosecution, and you have the defense. Right? That's who your case is working with, and the judge decides. The judge has studied, they're learned, they know what's going on. And you can talk to them on their side. I'm joking. But I like knowing that person had to go to school to figure out whether I broke the law. In America, it's a different system. They have a judge, they have a prosecution, and they have a defense, but they also have a jury. A jury. 12 people who are randomly gathered, randomly picked, who decide your fate. These people do not need to have studied the law. They don't need to understand the law. They don't even need to have watched Law and Order. Now they're deciding your fate. Clan, clan. I don't want that in my life. Yeah, I don't want that, and I don't want to be on a jury either. That's what comes with getting an American passport. You now have to be on a jury. I don't want to be on a jury. You know why? Because I'm South African. Yeah, and you're probably wondering, what does that mean? I'll tell you what it means. I read the rules of being on a jury, and I realized South Africans can never be on a jury. Yeah, because there's certain rules when you're on a jury. One of the most important rules right at the top of the list is if you are on a jury, if you're serving on a jury, you may not express your feelings or emotions about anything that is happening during the case. You may not talk about it, and you may not, during the case at any time, on the trial, you may not on the bench, you may not say anything. Anything, yeah, when the jury is standing, like you can't express, you can't do anything. South Africans, immediately disqualified. You tell me which South African is gonna be able to sit there during a trial, hiding all their emotions. Which South African? That case is gonna be going on. Bah, bah. The prosecution can start. Thank you, Your Honor. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, this man burned down his home for the insurance money. Ah. Bah, bah, bah. Order, order. The jury shall be silent. Completely silent. Oh, sorry. You insurance. You. Mr. Michaels, where were you the night of the fire?
I was walking. I wasn't at my house.
You weren't anywhere near the house?
No, I wasn't.
Then tell me, Mr. Michaels, why did your clothes smell like gasoline? I didn't talk. And can you imagine a South African jury deciding your case? You would never know which way the verdict would go. The judge would be there. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, have you got your verdict? We have, Your Honor. How do you find? We find the defendant guilty. Okay, and why is that? He didn't greet. Yeah, he just came in here. Why, nothing, no greeting, nothing. Yeah, magahambe. I choose South Africa every day of the week. You know when I realized this, when it solidified in my mind, was when someone asked me a really personal question. Someone said to me, Trevor, if you have kids, where would you like them to be brought up? And this was honestly one of the toughest questions ever, because I was like, wow, actually I've never thought about that. If I had children, where would I want them to be brought up? And honestly, all I could think, no lying, no nothing, I was like, I would want them to be brought up in South Africa. I would want them to grow up in a country where you have multiple cultures, in a country where you have multiple languages, in a country where you understand that there are other ways to be, in a country where there's diversity in terms of thought, in terms of food. I would want them to understand what it's like to be in a country where, like, I would want them to live here. I would want them to know here. And then I went down a spiral. I was like, wow, what would I want? I would want my kids to be South African. Like I realized I want my kids to have the same ice cream truck music that I grew up with. Which I didn't even know was a thing. I didn't know this. Did you know that the ice cream truck music is different in every country? I didn't know this. I just assumed. Yeah, till I went, and there I was in America, they've got different ice cream trucks. Ice cream trucks driving around is there. Plum 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 plum. Yeah, and then you go to Europe, you'll be in some random country, they've got their own music, and the ice cream truck is like plung 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 plung. I don't want that for my kids. When my kids are getting ice cream, I don't want that jolly music playing. I want happy music. When my kids are about to get ice cream, I want there to be suspense. I want it to sound like the beginning of a horror movie. I want that thrill when the truck turns around the corner. Dun, 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 dun. Dum, 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 dum. That's what I want for my kids. Why do I want them to grow up in this country? There's so many reasons. You know why I want my kids to be South African? Because I want my kids to have grit. I want them to have texture. You take for granted what a child growing up in South Africa learns. You take for granted what they have to go through. It makes you something special, you know? It polishes you, a diamond from the rough. There's something of like, you know, I realized this one day. I was in the street in Brooklyn, right outside of New York City, right? And I'm sitting outside. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. And I'm in the street, and there's these kids playing baseball, right? And I'm watching these kids while they're playing. Well, I wasn't like watching them. I just saw them, you know? And no, like I wasn't like they were just there. And I was looking in that direction. In fact, I was looking first, and then they came and started playing while I was looking there. So like they're the ones with the problem. Anyway, so the kids were there, and they were playing baseball, right? And having like a really great time. One kid pitches the ball, hits it, runs around. Another one comes, hits the ball, and then one kid pitched the ball, and the kid batted and hit it, and it flew into a car window on the side, and the window cracked. And the kid who hits it was like, "Ooh, ooh, ooh." And then the kid who threw the ball, he was like, "Oh, oh, oh." And then the other kids who were just standing around, they were like, "Ee, oh." And then soon it was 10 kids all crying at different times. I can't have children like that. One broken window, 10 children crying. Guys, that'll never happen in South Africa. What is the point of that? I remember what it was like growing up. We'd be outside in the streets playing. Everyone was there busy with the soccer ball. Busy having some fun playing diski. Someone would kick that ball too hard. Ball would fly over the wall, hit someone's window. And the thing I love is South African windows always act like they're not gonna break. And then the kid who kicked the ball, they'd look and they'd be like, and the rest of us would see what is about to happen. We'd know. We understand why our friend is terrified. They're in more trouble than they've ever been in their lives. But we wouldn't cry. What is our crying going to help our friend? No. We would be there. We would look over into our friend's eyes. We'd stare at them and we'd be like, I love banana. You broke the window. They're gonna hit you. They're gonna kill you. And then we'd take the ball and be like, see you tomorrow. Those are the kids I want. That's why I want South African children. You kidding me? And the most important reason I want to have children that are South African is because I want children who have culture and respect. Culture and respect. You take that for granted as a South African. The way we treat each other, even in the toughest times, you take it for granted because you're here. But guys, South Africans, we're truly a cut above the rest. Like, you think I'm wrong. You think I'm lying. Go, walk anywhere in public where there are other South Africans. Fall flat on your face. Pa! Tell me there's no South African there who will feel your pain. You'll fall. Bah! They'll all be there like, sorry. Ooh, sorry. Ach, shame, man. Ach, nee, man. Ach, shame. Ach, fooi toch, man. Ach, shame. You know that doesn't happen overseas. Yeah. There's a lot of countries around the world where no one cares about what happens to you if they don't know you. I saw this firsthand in New York. I was walking through the street and there was this old lady who had just come back from grocery shopping and she was carrying her bag. And this lady was old, guys. Like old. Like old. Like old. You know, like old. Like old. Like she was knocking. You know what I mean? Like old. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, like even where like the angel of death was there walking with her like, anytime I know I'll just be here in case. Like old, I'm talking about.
This is not Africa. No, South Africa is not. This is Africa light, guys. This is. Don't get it twisted. When I say Africa, I mean Africa. Like Africa. No jokes. No white people. Nothing. It's just you in the streets, Gerard. Just you. You see like one other white person, you get happy. Yeah. It's a reflection. I've started doing shows out there, Gerard, you know. Places like Namibia, fantastic. Botswana as well, beautiful. Wanted to go to Zimbabwe, but I skipped it. No, because I don't want to die. That's the only reason. You laugh, but I mean this, because you can't make jokes about Robert Mugabe in Zimbabwe. If you do this, then you get arrested and sent to prison for mocking the president, right? And so I know I would go there and I wouldn't be able to resist. Like, I'd just be like, hey, my style, and then I'm in jail. Which normally wouldn't be such a bad thing, because what would happen in an international incident like that is normally your president would just come there and then he would ask for you to be released and taken back to your country. That's all. But now, I don't know if that guy would come and fetch me. I can see him sending Mugabe the email now. It's fine, Bob. Keep him. So I'm not taking any chances. I did go to Zambia though. Fantastic place, Zambia. Went there, visited the place, had a good time. While I was there, I had a chaperone who really made my trip. His name was Ali Nani, a sweet guy. And his job was to get me accustomed to the Zambian culture, you know? And every day he would give me a new piece of information, some more interesting than others. Like one day he looks at me and he goes, Trevor, you know Zambia is a very, very conservative nation, huh? I said, oh, okay, Ali. He says, yeah. So please, stay away from profanity. I said, oh, okay, I can do that, you know. And I assumed he meant swearing, right? But I didn't say anything because I wasn't sure if he meant a person or swearing. I wasn't like, no, because in Zambia, people have names like profanity. So that's how I laughed when I met Screwdriver, eh? That's the same way I laughed. Yeah, because you see, in South Africa, we have African names you can translate, like happiness, blessing, hope, those kinds of names, right? But then in Zambia, people give their names, like their children, they give their children names of everyday English words, anything. So like table, chair, car, house. Yeah, you see like this, you just have to get used to it. It's very hard, but you have to keep a straight face. Which was difficult because I met a mechanic who had sons named Brake and Clutch. And that was not, especially when Brake was running around causing chaos. And his dad was there like, stop it, Brake, stop it, Brake, stop it, Brake. And I was like, hey, stop it, Brake. But you have to get used to it. It's a cultural thing, and so you have to respect it. And the second warning Ali gave me was even stranger. We're driving through Lusaka, the capital. And Ali looks over at me in the car and he goes, Trevor, you know here in Zambia, we're a very God-loving nation, eh? I said, oh, okay, Ali, that's a good thing to know. He says, yes. So while you are here, don't be gay. So what? He says, I know it can be tempting sometimes, but don't do it, huh? Don't be gay. Don't be gay? I've never been warned of this in my life. Don't be gay. Hey, bro, don't be gay. Don't be gay. Don't be gay. Crazy warning to get. But then I found out why Ali was warning me. Turns out in Zambia, being gay is illegal. If you are found to be gay, you will be arrested and sent to prison for more than 30 years. Yeah. Which is a bit of a weird punishment. When you think about it. I mean, I'm not saying gay guys would enjoy prison. I'm just saying if I was gay, that's not the worst thing you could do to me. You'd be like, you're going to jail. I'd be like, oh no. Don't be gay. I couldn't believe this. Gay is a crime in Zambia. Which got me thinking, if gay is a crime, that means the police have to monitor it. They actually have to police gay. Yeah. Which means in their police force, they have a gay division. It's a crime. It's a crime. So that means they've got a murder unit, they've got a robbery unit, they've got a white-collar crimes unit, and then they've got a gay unit. Huh? Yeah, they've got a little G unit in their police force that's responsible for all things gay. That must be the most fun police force to be in the world. You get to go undercover, dress up really nice, get in touch with your flamboyant side, you know, just have a good time. I bet the sergeant's there every morning, briefing his detectives. Good morning, detectives. Welcome, everybody. Today we will be launching a sting operation. We have just been informed of a fashion show that will be taking place. And as you know, the gays cannot resist the latest trends. Therefore, we will be in full attendance to apprehend each and every one of them. Let us make sure we are here. Detective Chipua, present. Detective Table, present. Detective Mungai, present. I think he's in too deep. How do you police gay? Do they stop you if you look suspiciously gay in the streets? You know, I mean, gay doesn't have a look, but maybe you've just got a bounce about you. Maybe you just have like a bit of pizzazz. Maybe, you know, do the police pull up there and it's like, woo, you over there? What is the purpose of that flamboyant scarf? Put your hands up. turn around. Don't tempt me. Don't tempt me. You're going to jail. How do you police gang? Do they have roadblocks, like for drunk driving? Do they have gay roadblocks? We're just stopping people in their car. Good evening, officer. Good evening, sir. License, please. Thank you very much. Mr. Stylish, huh? Tell me, sir, have you been gay this evening? What? Oh, no. I have not been gay. No. In fact, I don't gay at all. I see. Not even one or two? No. No gays for me. No gays for me. Okay. Then tell me, sir, what is that I can smell on your breath? Is that balls? No. I don't even eat chutney. No. So you are not gay? No, not gay at all. Then, sir, can you please blow into this? Don't be gay. I was not gay while I was in Zambia, so I had a good time. Went around, saw the people. The highlights of my trip came when on my day off, I asked Ali for suggestions. Ali said to me, maybe you should drive around Lusaka, meet some of the people, just have a good time. I said, Ali, I want to do something special. He said, okay, well, in that case, maybe you can go to the mall. And if you are lucky, maybe you can ride the escalators, huh? So what? Yeah, I'm not promising anything. But if you are early, maybe you can go once or twice. So escalators, I know, mind-blowing, huh? I thought he was messing with me. Until I found out people in Zambia go to the mall just to ride the escalators. Seems ridiculous till you understand the backstory. When we were in Zambia, there were only 5 public escalators. 5 in the whole country. The first escalator was built in August. Yeah. Not August 19. No. You guys remember August? August? You guys remember that? They built their first escalators ever. Yeah. And so now it's all the rage. People go to the mall just to ride escalators. Yeah. But now, I don't want you to picture like some dusty village. That's not what Zambia is. It's a beautiful place. They're developing just as we are. They've got roads, they've got airports, they've got beautiful hotels, stunning shopping malls. They've got everything we've got, even faster internet. They just never had escalators. And now they started building them. And because of that, people go there and they just spend a day riding escalators. Dads will go home and fetch their kids. Children, we are going to the mall. To do what, Daddy? To do shopping. And to ride the escalators. Yay! We couldn't believe this, so we went to the mall, right? We get to the mall is empty. Escalators are packed. People are standing in lines, going around, doubling back on themselves. There's old people, young people, even couples. There were couples. Guys that actually picked up women by saying, I'm going to take you to the escalator, girl. Ooh, you are so fancy, eh? Escalators. Some people didn't even know how to ride the escalators. Kids were easy, they just jumped on. Old people would panic. There was one guy who got on the escalator and was going up. And I guess to compensate for something in his mind, as it went up, he started leaning. He fell down. He was hurt so badly. Oh, it was fantastic to watch. We spent like 3 hours doing this, just watching people riding escalators. And you know what? Our patience paid off. Because in hour 3, the most fantastic thing happened. A school brought a class of children to the mall. And their excursion was just to ride the escalators. It was magic. 30 kids, about 5 years old, cutest things, wearing their little black and white uniforms. And they're standing there together holding hands, and they were so excited, they're shining, not from excitement, that Vaseline. And there's 2 teachers with the children, and they grab their hands on either end, and in a long train, they start to march through the mall. And as they do, they start singing at the top of their lungs like little angels. Escalator, escalator, escalator. Oh, escalator, escalator. And it was the sweetest thing ever. People are waving at them, smiling. And these kids see the escalators and they lost their minds. These kids went crazy. They're not holding hands. They start screaming and running around. It looked like a zombie movie or something. This is like they're jumping, but then you see the smiles on their faces. It looks like the end of Sarafina. You're like, what the hell's going on here? These kids are screaming and having the time. They're jumping around, doing cartwheels. The teacher can't control them. She's panicking, like, hey, get back. 2 by 2, 2 by 2. 2 by 2 was one of the kids. I didn't know. She was like, 2 by 2, next to me, sing it fine. Other kids are still jumping. She can't control them. There was one fat kid. He couldn't jump, so he just shook himself. Escalator. It was the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my life. It's like I had gone in a time machine to a time when escalators were new, brand new and popular. So popular that people were taking pictures of the escalators using their iPhones. Chipiwa, technology, eh? Who even thinks of these things, eh? Can you imagine? Hey, we are in the future now, man. Mechanical moving stairs, huh? What are we going to see next? I don't even know. I wonder how it works, eh? Let me just check there. Siri, how does an escalator work? I don't know, eh? Okay, maybe I'm lying. They don't use Siri. Maybe I'm lying. They do have iPhones, though. Yeah. They just don't have Siri. Yes, there's no Siri because in Africa, Siri doesn't work. Yes, it doesn't work in Africa. It doesn't work in parts of South Africa as well. No, this is true. For those who don't know, Siri is a personal assistant that you get on an iPhone. It's like a little thing. You press a button on the phone, and then it talks to you, right? So the whole thing is that you can just talk to your phone. You just press the button and she goes, how can I help you? And then you'll be like, Siri, what's the weather like? And she'll be like, 23 degrees, partly cloudy. And you can ask her weird questions because she's got personality. You know? You can be like, Siri, who's your daddy? You are. You know? She's got that vibe to her. But she doesn't work in Africa. And in South Africa, they're still trying to fix a few things. Like her navigation is not great. Because she'll guide you around major areas, Sandton, Fourways, that stuff. You know, she'll be there in 100 meters, turn right ahead. You know, she's cool. You know, and then you get to the outskirts. You know, places like maybe like Diepsloot, and she's not that comfortable anymore. Driving through like Soweto and stuff, and she's just quiet. She's like, Siri, what's going on? What's wrong, Siri? I don't feel comfortable. Why, Siri? You were here last week. What happened? I got robbed. By who? By a BlackBerry. Just because one BlackBerry's bad doesn't mean they're all bad, Siri. Siri's fun. Oh, and you must also be careful. Gerard, if you got a very thick South African accent, must be careful because sometimes she won't understand you. So like if you watch a lot of rugby, then Siri's not for you. No, I saw this happen personally. I was in Menlyn, Pretoria. I'm in the shopping center, and there's a group of guys, and one of them has just bought a brand new iPhone, and he's showing off to his friends, you know, and they all gathered around him. This guy's huge, and he's standing there, and he's just showing off. You can see he's the man. He's just like, yeah, sorry, nieuwe iPhone. Sommige druk niet. Ja, sommige druk, ja, sommige praat. He's like, ja, maar wat is die knop? Ja, knop is er wat. Ja, sommige praat met die dingen. Oh, Siri, ja, even, zo breed voor jullie, maar ik kan het. Hey, ja, sommige praat met die dingen. Dat is zo skuttering hierdie dingen. Dat is gewoon skuttering, you know? He's just got that vibe, you know. I love it. I love listening to those Afrikaans guys. Have you heard them? Those Afrikaans guys, especially the big ones. They've got that, you know, they've got that thing, that rhythm. It's almost like they've got a motorbike in their chest when they speak. Have you heard it? It's like, it's fantastic to listen to. So this guy's standing there with his friends and he's showing off, you know. He's like, yeah, zoveel nou. Sommige praat met die phone. Sommige praat met jou. Is een nieuwe iPhone. Sommige praat met die phone. He's like, ja, kom maar, wijs daarop. Kom maar, wijs jou aan. He's like, okay, waar heb je? Sommige wijs, oké. Hallo, Siri. Hello, Johan.
Sien jy, dis mos Johan, dis sommer ja, die Afrikaanse dit kom. Ja, is van Amerika. Amerika is sommer so Siri, ja. Okay, ja so. Kom wys.
Siri, I would like you to dial for a pizza place, please.
Dialing Peter.
No, cancel Siri, cancel. Ag jammer man, dis mos so ja, so pizza, dis sommer okay.
No, Siri, I would like to eat a pizza.
You want to eat Peter?
No, Siri, come on man, why would I want to do that?
I don't know, you tell me.
Hey. Nee, dis nie 'n moffie man. Sus, cancel. Ag jammer, dis mos 'n glitch hierdie ding, is mos 'n glitch. Cancel. Stupid bitch.
Dialing mom.